passionate about being you again. I know it's been really tough, and I know that all the joy has been sucked out of life, but the only way to get it back is to find ways to get passionate about being you. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Welcome into Words of Wisdom Tarot, where we use the chakra system to give language to what women inherently know and the permission to trust it. How is everybody doing? It is a chilly, it's an interesting day here. There's supposed to be snow, at least around us. I don't know whether it's actually going to hit Calgary, but the temperature is dropping. You can feel the chill in the air. You can see the clouds that are like, yeah, storms are coming. So it's supposed to be kind of a craptastic weekend here. However, that is usually what happens on the May 2-4 weekend. So for all my Canadian watchers and subscribers, happy May long weekend. And for those on the eastern side of the country that call it May 2-4, happy May 2-4. Now it's called that for two reasons. One is because being a Commonwealth country, Queen Victoria's birthday is May 24th. And so we celebrate that on the third week of the month. So it's usually the weekend after Mother's Day. We have a long weekend here in Canada to celebrate the Queen's birthday. And out east, where I came from, we called it May 2-4 because you went and bought 2 4s of beer, like cases of 24 beer, and you went camping and you drank. And so it was May 2-4 weekend. It was the start of camping season, so it was always a big deal. Out here, out west, it doesn't feel like such a big deal because, well, it snows and it does all kinds of crazy things on the May long weekend out here. So, but I wanted to I'm going to be tapped right into the feminine collective, and I want to talk to you about what I feel in my chakras for the feminine collective, because I think if we're going to read them, we should really understand what's actually happening inside the energetic system of the feminine collective. So from that perspective, I will tell you that it's very interesting because the energy came down. It went into my root chakra, but then it was instantly up here, and then my heart swelled and then came up out like this. So when it comes up and out like this means heart-led communication. This means my throat chakra is going to open and I'm going to speak from my heart. But I feel like this needs to be tempered a little bit because it's quite expansive. When the heart chakra is open too much, it can lead to having poor boundaries. It can make you demanding and clingy. So make sure that if you are leading from your heart, that you have your heart energy in balance so that you are speaking balanced truths and not coming from a place of either codependency or bitterness. Like you have one or the other. You're going to have codependency and demanding and clinging, or you're going to be jealous and bitter, and you know what that feels like. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. You can see it on my face. In the root chakra, I can feel it's growing. So where a week ago, it was quite closed and dark and feeling unstable as it was starting to open. What's going to happen is because the Divine Feminine Collective has been shut down for so long, it's going to have to expand and become overactive first before it comes back into balance. So this is where you're going to see a lot of chaos happening, a lot of anger, a lot of external pushback is the feeling that I get from this. This is where your sacral chakra energy right now, it feels kind of closed down, and it's okay because we're processing so much in the root chakra area and understanding how much our lives have been radically changed or different from what we would have liked it to be, because we're realizing the whole program is falling apart that was holding us in this space. So coming up from the throat, I feel the throat chakra. I feel a lot of like, when it's heart led, it just kind of comes up and comes out, and it's beautiful. If either the heart or the root gets pushed too far, it could turn into something nasty. And that really feels really awful in my gut. So whatever is going to be coming up for you, take a breath, use some discernment. I have been doing that all week. I've been finding myself sending these messages. I'm like, whoa, just put my finger on the back button till it's done. Look at it again. You go, this is what this needs, not that. So same thing here. And it's interesting because all the energy sort of stops here. It's like everything up here feels okay today, where it feels like it's segmented because the rest of the energetic system is a little bit out of alignment. We have some, we have the heart chakra that's expanding over what it should for a balanced heart chakra. So like I said, just be careful, because it can cause a lot of sharp words that you didn't necessarily mean to have come off your tongue. And that will actually diminish your personal power. I can feel it in my solar plexus as we speak about, being very cautious, not cautious, but discerning about how we're delivering things. As long as we're coming from a place where our heart chakra is balanced and not, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I want to lash out, I want revenge. I keep seeing the queen in Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and how nasty and gnarly. It's that kind of, you want to stay out of that energy. Get yourself grounded. Allow whatever you need to move through you without it destroying you or burning you down. I mean, think about it. What lives down there? Anger, shame, guilt, all live down in the root and sacral chakras. Anger can be destructive. Don't let the anger get in the way of what you're here to do and what you're here to actually say. Okay? Alrighty. So let's throw a few cards down and see what the cards want to say about all of this. Root chakra, we have Venus, 10th house, authority, 5th house, passion, Vesta, hearth is at the heart chakra, solar calm and clarify in the throat chakra, Cancer and immerse in the third eye. All right, and what is coming up for the crown chakra? The whole deck of cards is coming up for the crown chakra. We have solar flares and activate. Now that's interesting because we are being hit by solar flares right now and have been for quite some time. So if you haven't been sleeping well at night, that may be why. We have a huge solar storm coming in this weekend. So expect downloads, expect upgrades, expect your brain to be a little foggy. There's going to be geomagnetic storms which provide northern lights. So, you know, how do you normally feel when those storms roll in? I know for me, it you know, I have a hard time sleeping because lots is going on up here. Even though I'm quiet in my head, I can feel lots going on. So it's interesting that that's showing up with this coming in this weekend. Okay. 5th house, passion. So first of all, I guess I should show you the solar flares card. Isn't it beautiful? And then we have 5th house and passion in the solar plexus. And it's interesting because as I hold this card, I get this kind of queasy feeling in my gut, which is where your solar plexus is here. We are so disgusted with what's going on in the world. It's hard for us to tap into our own personal passions when all we can see is what is ugly and eroding in our society. When we can see that the protection that's supposed to be there isn't there, and the justice that's supposed to be there isn't there. This card is saying it is okay for you to be really passionate about that, because that's why you're here. So if that's all you can focus on, that's okay. But it's asking you to take that passion and channel it into something that is more in alignment with your soul. Because this here, this is power, right? This is your masculine energy. We have both in our body. This is your masculine energy, which could easily tap into the anger in the root chakra, and this would help soften that. We're not talking about spiritually bypassing. We're not talking about dulling anything down. We're talking about having a little balance so you can use discernment. And when you're tapped into something that you're passionate about and you feel really good about it when you're speaking about it, it changes your energy and it changes what comes out of your mouth. Okay? In your sacral chakra, we have 10th house and authority. Okay. This is about your own personal authority. This isn't about the people who think that they're an authority above us, or that we've allowed to be an authority above us. This is about being sovereign in your own energy and being your own authority. We do need to live by some of the rules that are here, absolutely. But are there rules that you can bend, maneuver around a little, that allow you to step more into your sovereignty and your own authority as to how you're going to live your life? Because the sacral chakra is the one that we move into as we become an adult. So this is where you get to choose. You get to be the authority on your life. You get to be the one that says, this is who I am. And then get passionate about it. Get passionate about being you again. I know it's been really tough, and I know that all the joy has been sucked out of life, but the only way to get it back is to find ways to get passionate about being you. You. Who you were before all this stuff happened. Now, that person probably doesn't exist any longer, but a lot of the things that that person used to do will still appeal to the person that you have become. So allow yourself to become your own authority and step into your passion. Build yourself. You know, they say that there's a phrase about the hearth being the home or something along that line. This card in the heart chakra is asking you to build a hearth, a home, a safe space for yourself. Everything you need is within you. I know that sounds so trite and cliche, but when I lost everything and the only thing I had left was me and God, everything I needed was within me. There was no one to help me. There was no one, holding my hand and saying, here, do this, do that. No, I was thrown into the fire at times in 2024 with no bucket of water, with nothing. It's like, here, you decided to do this, here you go. And I did it. But I had to, and I did not know where home was at that time. And I had to create that inside my heart. So if you can create a world where you feel comfortable and loved, and you can step into that at any time and say, okay, you know what? I'm not feeling that great. I'm going to sit down in my heart chakra. Well, the other thing is that in the root chakra, We have Venus, which is the beloved, and Venus is the planet of love. So you build this hearth, this space for you in here. I take my clients through an inner child journey that allows them to build a home inside of their heart, that allows their inner child to have the safety, the home, the hearth that they never had. And with this Venus beloved in the root chakra, this is saying that you need to pour love into the problems, into whatever has your root chakra out of balance right now or raging. Love is the answer to everything. You need to be your own best friend and love on yourself hard. And I know that it's sitting in your skin, just under it, and you're just, ugh. I understand that. I used to be exactly like that, but now I understand it. So just know that you can love yourself and create a home inside of yourself that no one else can touch, and that's safe, and that gives you love that you need. That doesn't stave off loneliness and things. We need, I know I personally need connection with other people, but when I don't have it and I have things, I have big grief coming up, I have big feelings coming up, I know I can drop into my body, I can soothe myself, I can love hard on myself and bring myself back into a stable sense of security in my body. With the throat chakra, we have solar calm and clarify. So again, as I was talking to you about the energies of this heart chakra and coming up and out from the throat chakra, you want to make sure you're using discernment and you're asking questions and you're stopping to clarify what it is that you actually need to communicate. Very often we jump in to provide solutions for people when they didn't ask for them. I am equally guilty of this, and I've been very cognizant of that. And that has been changing how I've been speaking to people lately. And last but not least, in your third eye, we have Cancer and immerse. For this one, I'm going to grab the book because it is not saying anything to me, so it must need the interpretation from the book. Okay. Be the emotional leader and connect with the parent archetype. If you're in need of parenting yourself, reach out to the Divine Mother and Father, to the earth beneath the sky above, and feel held. Once you feel fed by spirit, it becomes easier to accept the ordinary human limitations of the people around you. If you're called to parent others in this situation, whether in love or work, do so with a balanced approach of honest feedback and support and self-care. Nurture without enabling. Model what you want others to do. Nourish the connections within your chosen family and tribe. Nourish bodies, gardens, and communities, and your temple's hearth. There's that hearth word again. Cancer calls us to deepen our relationship to home, but not to get stuck in this protective shell. If you need more out of life, you'll have to leave this safety to find what you need. Find a home base or a safe place within your soul, and from that safety, be ready to brave exploration and risk carrying with all your heart. The challenge: crabs are hard on the outside, but soft and squishy on the inside. Remember that the very defenses you think will keep you safe may actually keep very important people out. Soften your shell. You have a backbone and are not protected solely by an exoskeleton. Gift: be aware of the psychic pool in which you float. If you feel tossed about by the waves or battered by anxiety of those around you, dive down deeper and find the calm below. Float in the ocean of collective consciousness and feel cradled, nurtured by the Divine Mother, fed and cuddled. I don't think I've ever had a card turn around, take an entire reading, and sum it up in one card like that before. So, with all that being said, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If something in here resonated with you, if you could do all the good social media things, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave me a comment below and let me know what resonated with you. If you'd like to go deeper with me, my link tree is in the description box below. And as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. And I love you. Have a great weekend.